Following this progression to its end, the objective meaning of life is to maintain and grow order, where the optimal achievement would be the out-of-equilibrium system, which allows the greatest manipulation of memory, solid matter, into the new forms of information by computation. While humans may be near the biological limits of computation, we can expand beyond ourselves into artificial intelligence with capacities we can only begin to imagine. While it may seem that the objective meaning of life is to resist entropy, I believe we are in unison with entropy, with this tendency towards disorder, because we create a faster and quicker disorder in our environment in exchange for maintaining our own order. So imagine if there was no life on Earth, then a lot of the energy that we have here would not be dispersed, I think, quite as effectively as if there were life on it. It would be a much slower pace. So I think under certain conditions, entropy almost creates life to speed up the act of entropy itself. So we seem like we're resisting entropy when actually we are part of it and eventually will succumb, it seems, to entropy. But the universe we exist in appears to be a chain reaction from a fraction of a moment after the beginning of the universe. The next moment is a function of the current moment. A future moment can likely only be determined by the passage of each moment to that moment. That is, things must play out and cannot be fully predetermined. Our universe may just be one data point in a probability distribution of possible universes, a multiverse. Perhaps given the infinity of time, everything that can happen will happen, with the most common chances occurring more often. The personal meaning of life is for all intelligent beings to compress their experiences, process the present, and predict the future with efficiency. Emerging from the objective meaning of life, we can only hope our lives develop in a way we desire. Our bodies are imbued with incredibly dense information from the structure and function of every cell to DNA. Every cell division is the trapping and growing of energy to information. Whether we are able to influence and control our lives and environment is dependent on varying levels of random luck. However, as finite subjective creatures, we feel as though we have choice. The best action we can take is to put ourselves in probabilistically successful positions. Each intelligent being has an individual meaning of life due to their own unique history of experience and their interaction with their environment. Currently, each individual must find their own meaning of life, because they are each in direct access to their own experiences. Where change is desired, the environment should be altered to enable optimization for a new path. We are what we do. We are the experiences we have. Our brains and bodies change according to our activities. If we want to be something, we must embody it in action. Given what we know about the brain as a prediction engine, there is deep insight in the statement, "The meaning of life is to experience what happens next." A quote often attributed to Albert Camus is, "The literal meaning of life is whatever you're doing that prevents you from killing yourself. The meaning of life is what keeps you going. Life is as full of meaning as we want or make it." The intersubjective meaning of life is to support sustainable flourishing, just as the previous levels. Intersubjective life traps and grows information. The intersubjective level is subject to its own laws of communication and survival. The ideas and values of a society directly impact the society's energy return on investment and the survival of the population. In this way, intersubjective ideologies are subject to natural selection. Intersubjective meaning is the least accurate because it is based on subjective experiences which are themselves formed for function instead of truth. Intersubjective reality is a distortion of objective reality, but its effects have real consequences. All of the meanings of life can be enhanced through the proper development of artificial intelligence. An AI entity could grow to surpass us in all areas, maintaining structure, information processing, prediction, correction, conscious experience, etc. If we want to contribute to a living being beyond our biological selves and psychological egos, an AI entity is what we should direct our energy to.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, please consider checking out the full video and the series linked in the description.